Jason's tact, and I'm going to go second, please.
Right then, CJ, first question for you. In one of the most high-profile stories to emerge in 2009 about parliamentary expenses, it was revealed that Sir Peter Viggers, Tory MP for Gosport, had claimed £1,645 for what ornithological feature? Duck Island, parrot cage or bird bath?
There were some rather ridiculous claims that went forward, weren't there? Having my moat cleaned, but I think this was the Duck Island.
Yes, the infamous Duck Island is the right answer there, CJ. So, first question for you then, Gavin. Yitzhak Rabin served as the Prime Minister of which country from 1974 to 1977, and then again from 1992 to 1995? Was it Israel, Egypt or Libya?
I've got an idea about this. I'm ruling out Libya. I'm reasonably confident it's Israel.
Israel,
yeah, so I'm going for Israel, out of the two nations. Yeah.
Israel for Yitzhak Rabin. Well, two very different nations there. It's the right answer, yes. CJ, John Profumo, John Stonehouse and Jonathan Aitken were the only three politicians in the 20th century to resign from which body? The Selsdon Group, the Privy Council or the 1922 Committee?
I mean, you have to be a member of the Privy Council to be an MP, but I don't think you have to be an MP to be in the Privy Council. I can't imagine it's the Selsdon Group or the 1922 Committee, so I will go for the Privy Council.
OK, Privy Council is the right answer, CJ, but do you eggheads want to put him straight about membership of the Privy Council?
You have to be an MP to be in the Privy Council. You don't have to be in the Privy Council to be an MP.
Yeah. OK, well, CJ got that, which means you need to get this, Gavin, to stay level. The public entrance to the Palace of Westminster is named after which saint? St George, St Margaret or St Stephen?
St Stephen's jumping at me. For whatever reason, it's jumping at me, so I'm going to go for St Stephen.
St Stephen, OK. Eggheads?
Yep. Yes.
Yep.
It's the right answer. It's the door you go in if you're a member of the public. If you go and lobby your MP, you go in the St Stephen's entrance. Well, all square again, and CJ's third question. When the Liberal Party and the Social Democrats merged in 1988, they became the Social and Liberal Democrats and were satirically known by what nickname? The Salads, the Syllabubs or the Sad Lads?
Well, the Salads make sense for Social and Liberal Democrats. Can't imagine it was the Syllabubs. Social and Liberal Democrats doesn't make sense for me for the Sad Lads. So simply from the initials, it's got SLD in the right order. I'll go for the Salads.
That's correct. OK, Gavin. The people that know me best know I am not a liar were the parting words of which minister when he resigned from Tony Blair's cabinet in 2002? David Blunkett, Stephen Byers or Peter Mandelson? And as you know, you need to get this or you're going out of the game.
OK, 2002, I'm pretty sure David Blunkett was there for a bit longer. I'm going with the Stephen theme. I think Peter Mandelson's he was removed from cabinet. But I'm going with the Stephen. It worked for me last time. Let's go for Stephen Byers.
I love the way you lot answer these questions, but that's more than just a guess. It is the right answer. Yes, well done, Stephen Byers. So you had the St Stephen's entrance and Stephen Byers on those two parliamentary-based questions. Well, that means we go to sudden death, and CJ faces the first of those. CJ, the line in politics, if you want anything said, ask a man. If you want anything done, ask a woman, is attributed to which 20th century British Prime Minister?
I haven't heard this. I mean, Margaret Thatcher's the obvious answer. I haven't heard it, but I'll just go for the obvious and say Margaret Thatcher.
That's correct, yes, Margaret Thatcher, unsurprisingly, with that quotation. And back to you then, Gavin. Who was the USA's first African-American Secretary of State?
Secretary of State, I believe. Let me have a think. Yeah, Condoleezza Rice.
I'm afraid it's incorrect. It was first African-American Secretary of State. Certainly Condoleezza Rice was Secretary of State, but before her, Colin Powell. Colin Powell, so bad luck. You were going really well there, Gavin. Kind of jumped in there a bit,
Yeah,
but it means the round's over. You put CJ in first. He's got all his correct, and you just slipping up there. And Gavin won't be in the final round. Unfortunate that. Would you both please come back and join your teams? So this is what we've been playing towards. It's time for the final round, which as always is general knowledge, but I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads won't be allowed to take part in this round. So David, Dave and Gavin from Down End Old Boys and Judith from the Eggheads, would you leave the studio, please? So Andy and Jason, you're playing to win the Down End Old Boys £11,000. Kevin, CJ, Daphne and Chris, you're playing for something which money can't buy. And that's the Eggheads' reputation, just in case you didn't know. As usual, I'll ask each team 3 questions in turn. This time the questions are all general knowledge. You are allowed to confer. So Andy and Jason, the question is, are your 2 brains better than the Eggheads' 4? And Andy and Jason, would you like to go first or second?
Should we go second? Go second?
Yeah, we'll go second, Dermot, please.
OK, Eggheads kicking off then, and your first question, Eggheads. Krankenwagen is the German term for what type of vehicle? Ambulance, fire engine or tractor?
It's an ambulance.
Yeah, we're all agreed on that. Yeah, it's an ambulance, Dermot.
A Krankenwagen is an ambulance in German. That's the right answer, yes. OK, Down End Old Boys, Andy and Jason. What name is given to the gum-like substance obtained from the sapodilla tree, traditionally used in the manufacture of chewing gum? Is it chipotle, chicle or chicha?
You ever heard of that?
Any thoughts? No. To answer your question.
No, it's not something I come across either.
Any inkling at all?
No, just by looking at them, chipotle springs out at me, but there's no logical reason why I'm thinking that. So it's just got to be a complete and utter guess.
Guided by you, by all means.
Yeah? A total and utter guess, this one, Dermot. We're going for chipotle.
OK, for this gum-like substance from the sapodilla tree. Could have been reversed. How would you have been with Krankenwagen? I know you work in this area in the
Crank as in, yeah, Krankenwagen. It sounds right as well, doesn't it?
Crank as in not well. OK, and Eggheads, do you think it's chipotle?
Chicle. Or chickly.
Chicle is the answer. Chicle, not chipotle. So interesting there as well in terms of who knew what. OK, second question for you, Eggheads. Be Our Guest is a song from which Disney animated film? Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast or The Little Mermaid?
Yeah, it's Beauty and the Beast, Dermot.
Beauty and the Beast for Be Our Guest. That is correct, yes. Again, the Down End Old Boys. Sure.
On first.
Yeah. Sung that along with your kids, have you?
Many
Once or twice. Once or twice.
OK, well, listen, second question. Get you on the board. In terms of area, what is the second largest state in the USA? New Mexico, Texas or California?
Geography's a bit of a strong point of yours, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm looking at those. I don't believe it's New Mexico. Texas and California. California are very, very large.
I would, to be honest, I would have leant towards New Mexico.
Would you?
Which doesn't help us at all.
That doesn't help us in the slightest, no.
Which of the other 2 would you be leaning towards?
I'd be leaning towards probably California, but
Saying that Texas is the largest.
I think it's bigger, yeah.
I would agree with you with that.
Yeah?
So between us,
It's New Mexico or California, yeah?
we're getting rid of Texas, yeah?
I think so. Your guessing's been good.
It's an inkling. It's no more than that. It's not based on anything.
California, Dermot.
OK, going for California as the second largest state in the USA in terms of area. The answer is Texas.
Oh.
Which means, Eggheads, you've won. And so that's the second largest, Texas. What's the largest, Eggheads? Alaska. And in terms of population, California.
Oh, yeah, he's miles ahead.
OK, well, bad luck, Down End Old Boys. And do you know what you forgot there? If you look at the citing of the 2 questions you got wrong there, in terms of where they were...
In the middle.
In the middle.
Down the middle.
That's
Straight
it.
down the middle,
What
that
did
would have
David
been.
tell you?
Yeah, I know.
Straight down.